The only reason I know the film Le Boucher is because of Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune. Gene Siskel, best known for being the film critic of the Chicago Tribune from 1969 until 1999, and for being Roger Ebert's television partner. He was one of those film critics where even if you didn't agree with him all the time, you still respected him, and even if you didn't agree with him, he was always very very entertaining to see. So yeah, in the '70s when they did their list of the best of the decade's best, he included Le Boucher on the list. Le Boucher, if anyone's not familiar, it means the butcher in French, and it is a post-French New Wave film. I say post-French New Wave film because, it still has some French New Wave qualities to it, but it's not quite, but it's still pretty different from something like Breathless and the 400 Blows. It's one of those films that really features, it marries a whole bunch of different genres together. It's part drama, part romance, part thriller, a little bit of horror, a little bit of romantic comedy, a little bit of crime. Well, a lot bit of crime actually. But anyway, usually when films try to tackle a whole bunch of different genres, sometimes they can fail, sometimes they succeed, and in this case, they succeed brilliantly. I haven't seen every Claude Chabrol film, the man that directed this, but it's got to be his best film. It just has to be. One thing that I really liked about Le Boucher is there's this big world. Well, not this big world, but this kind of intimate world that's created unto its own self. It takes place in this French village, and even though it's just a normal looking village, it's still a world is created, and that really helps draw the viewer right into it, and kind of help the viewer forget that they're sitting in chairs watching the film. And when a movie does that, you know that there's something right happening. So deals with this teacher named Elaine, who is she's a really well likable teacher. She's beautiful, talented, and she's loved by everyone. And she meets up with this butcher named Paul, and Paul is a war veteran who has major PTSD. He wants to date her, but she just wants to remain friends. She had some bad experiences beforehand. Meanwhile, there are these killings that are happening, and Elaine suspects that maybe Paul is the culprit. So yeah, the movie doesn't have a whole lot of killings that are visible. Not a lot of blood, but it's still one of those films where you really get your heart racing. It's so thrilling, and it's genius and so original. How do you know that a movie is great? You're sucked into what the acting is great. Everything's well developed, and you're excited. We had a couple different release times, like some things like 1972, some things 1970. To me, I would consider this to be a 1970 film, being Canada and everything. Yep, I do think that Le Boucher is the best film of 1970. I'm going to give this movie an easy 4-star score.